Welcome to this lesson on Expressionist theatre. Expressionism is a modernist movement in drama and theatre that developed in Europe, especially in Germany, in the early decades of the 20th century and later in the US. It forms part of the broader movement of Expressionism in the arts. Important precursors of this genre is the Swedish playwright August Strindberg. Expressionism enjoyed a brief period of popularity in American theatre with the plays of Eugene O'Neill, Sophie Treadwell, and Elmer Rice. Expressionist plays often dramatize the spiritual awakening and sufferings of their protagonists. Some utilize an episodic dramatic structure and are known as station plays, modeled on the presentation of the suffering and death of Jesus in the Stations of the Cross. August Strindberg had pioneered this form with his autobiographical trilogy To Damascus. These plays also often dramatize the struggle against bourgeois values and established authority and frequently personified by the Father. In expressionist drama, the speech is either expansive and rhapsodic or clipped and telegraphic. Staging was especially important in these kinds of plays. Directors also made heavy use of lighting effects to create stark contrast and as another method to heavily emphasize emotion and convey the play or a scene's message. The expressionist drama focused on the description of the subjective experiences and beliefs and personal experience of the main character, often an alter ego of the author himself. The remaining figures were the background for his mental states and obsessions, where the products of his dreams and imaginations are projected. The heroes of expressionist art were usually typical figures symbolizing entire social groups or simply the personifications of these groups. In this way, the arts focused on the psychology of the masses, not individuals. The best example is Emperor John's, where a black man is represented with his mental makeup, his confusions, his obsessions, his dreams and imaginations, hallucinations. They are all foregrounded in a very effective manner. The arts focused on the psychology of masses and not of individuals. Dialogue was characterized by a rotten style filled with slogans and exclamations. The work sought to shape the modern morality. Expressionists expressed higher art through a particular way, often political or religious, sometimes radically doubtful. Extensive acts known to the viewer from traditional theatre in expressionist theatres were replaced by a sequence of short scenes. Realistic scenes were intertwined with fantastic ones. Yet again, in Emperor John's, we find these fantastic scenes intertwined, mingled with the realistic life of the main protagonist, the Emperor John's. On the other hand, it was completely broken with a realistic set design. Stylized cubic decorations appeared. An important element was the lighting effects that created the mood of the stage, and also the use of sound. The performers experimented with the use of modern techniques on stage, trying, for example, to include film sequences in the show. The actors' movements were violent, the choreography strongly stylized, the dynamic game characterized by muscle tension and stiffness of the body. The voice was unnaturally modulated until it reached a hoarse, some sort of scream. There was a concentrated expressionist movement in the early 20th century, German theatre, and there were many writers who came up with such plays. In Expressionist theatre, sexual and psychoanalytic themes also predominated, perhaps by the influence of Freud, whose work, The Interpretation of Dreams, appeared in the 1900s. However, the protagonist used to be helpless, lonely, tortured, isolated from the world, and strived for all kinds of conventionalism and social appearance. Sex represented violence and frustration, life, suffering, and angst.